Today I'm going to show you how to make a little pinch pot or pinch cup with a handle to make it a little pinch cup mug. We're also going to be using a different kind of clay today called earthenware clay, which is a kind of clay that is made out of different minerals and dirt particles that have been refined and gone through a machine, adding a little bit of water to create this clay. All right, so what you want to do first is start with your lump of clay and you want to roll it into a sphere. Okay, doesn't have to be perfectly smooth, but what we want to do next is hold the clay in one hand and then you're going to use your thumb to push down into the middle of the clay towards the back of your palm. Now you don't want to go all the way through it because you don't want a hole in the bottom of your little pinch pot, but what you're going to do here, just keep pushing until you see an indent. Okay, so from here you're going to start to pinch. And the pinching is going to not only widen the little cup shape, but it's also going to deepen it. So you want it to be wide and deep. Now you might start to notice that my edges are a little bit uneven. So I'm going to put it down and pinch it and turn it so that the edges and the rim are relatively even. I mean, it's not going to be perfect because this is handmade. It's not made by a machine, but we want to do our best to try to make it as even as we can. Okay, so you'll see that the cup shape is starting to form. So now what I want to do, I don't want my cup to be wobbly, so I'm just going to gently tap it a few times to make it flat on the bottom, and then if you wanted to on the rim you could do the same thing. Okay, now if you notice that your clay is starting to crack a little bit, that's normal. You just need to get a little bit of water in a cup, dip your finger in and smooth it out. Don't want to overdo it because the more water you add, it's actually going to end up thinning the clay out and it's going to make it less strong. So just a little bit to smooth it out. Okay, after you make your little cup shape or your cup form, then you're going to want to start creating the handle. And I will give you a smaller chunk of clay for that. So when you get your clay, you're going to roll it into a coil, which is a long rope of clay. Now this is a really long handle. I do not need it to be this long, so I'm going to just tear it. There we go. Okay, that's pretty good. Maybe a little bit shorter. There we go. Okay, so I want this to be flat, so I'm just going to use my finger to press. You don't want it to be too thin, and you'll notice that it's starting to get some cracks in it, so I need some water. Okay, now I want to try to make it even. There we go. Okay, so now you're ready to attach the handle. And whenever you're attaching clay pieces to other clay pieces, you must do something called slip and score. The word score means to scratch lines into the surface of something, and the word slip is another word in the art world anyway for really, really watery clay, kind of like a clay paste or like a clay glue. And you make slip by adding a little bit of clay and a little bit of water. So I'm going to use a skewer. First, I think I'm going to just see what it'll look like when I attach it. That looks pretty good. I like that position. So I'm going to make a mark. so that I know where to attach. All right, now inside this little space, I'm going to scratch some lines into it and down here. This is the score part. You want to do it on both of the pieces that you're attaching, so the handle and on the cup. All right, now to do the slip part, we need a little bit of water. So what you want to do, wherever you added the scratch lines, is where you want to add the water. All right, now we're ready to attach. So what I'm going to do is place the handle on and press down. And then here. All right, now we want to smooth it out. We want to press where it is attached to make sure it's really stuck on there. When you are scratching your name in the bottom, do not press hard. You don't want it to be like a deep scratch because it's going to end up poking a hole in the bottom of your mug.